The stars above Earth were quiet that evening, just like any other night. People were going about their lives, unaware of what was approaching from the deep reaches of space. In orbit, the Earth Defense Fleet was calm but alert, monitoring the sensors and satellites that scanned the galaxy for threats. Captain Dae-hyun stood on the bridge of the flagship, looking at the glowing dots on the screen. "Something is coming," he said quietly. It was not a normal asteroid or a comet. The readings were too precise, too controlled. There was movement, intelligent movement, heading straight for Earth. Admiral Hygiene, the leader of Earth's defense forces, stepped onto the bridge. She was calm but focused. Her eyes scanned the information on the screens. "Dae-hyun, what are we looking at?" she asked. Dae-hyun turned to her. "It's a fleet, a massive fleet. I've never seen anything like this, Admiral. Their technology is advanced. If they decide to attack, we might not survive without using every trick we know." In the galaxy beyond, Council Envoy Take watched through his observation window. He had been monitoring Earth for years, but this was different. The humans were still small compared to the other civilizations, but they had a strange spark in them, a spark that often surprised others. He whispered to himself, "Let's see if they are truly primitive, or if the stories are wrong." The alien fleet moved faster now, approaching the solar system with dangerous precision. Back on Earth, the defense teams worked quickly. Sensors detected multiple warships moving in formation. Each was large, equipped with weapons that could destroy entire cities on the surface. The fleet's size alone was enough to make seasoned officers uneasy. Dae-hyun ordered the defense forces to prepare. "All ships to battle stations. Shields up. Weapons ready. We may not get another chance." Hygiene looked at the young officers around her. Many were nervous, some were scared, but they were trained for this moment. She knew the odds were against them. Their fleet was smaller, their technology less advanced. But humans had something the aliens did not anticipate: creativity, courage, and the willingness to take risks. The alien ships were now visible in the deep black of space. They moved like a single organism, perfectly coordinated. The lead ship emitted a strange pulse, scanning Earth's defenses. Dae-hyun studied the pulse. "They are testing us," he said. "They want to see how fast we react." In the control room, the tactical team worked furiously. They ran simulations, calculated trajectories, and planned every possible response. Young Lieutenant Sumin suggested a risky strategy. Use smaller ships to lure the aliens into an asteroid field and attack from multiple angles. Many officers were unsure, but Hygiene nodded. "Do it. We have no choice. If we stay in open space, they will destroy us." Meanwhile, Council Envoy Take was intrigued. He had seen many species struggle and fail, but humans were unpredictable. He made a note to report back to the Council. "They are small, yes, but their strategy is unusual. This could be interesting," he said. The alien fleet approached closer, their weapons ready. The first warning shots were fired, not to destroy, but to intimidate. The shots hit near the Earth Defense Fleet, creating shockwaves in space that rattled the ships. Alarms blared, and the fleet scrambled to respond. Dae-hyun took a deep breath. "Now we show them what humans can do." The defense fleet moved into position. Smaller, faster ships darted between the larger warships, using the asteroid field as cover. Explosions lit up the dark void of space as the humans executed their first attack. They targeted the alien fleet's communication lines and weapon systems, causing confusion and slowing their advance. In the midst of battle, Hygiene coordinated the attacks, issuing orders with precision. "Sumin, take your squadron around the left flank. Do not engage until I give the signal. Dae-hyun, focus fire on the lead ship's energy core. We need to disable their command." The alien commanders were surprised. They had expected easy victory, underestimating humans' courage and intelligence. Their attacks became disorganized as human forces used clever maneuvers, striking where the aliens were weakest. Each successful strike boosted the morale of Earth's fleet. Dae-hyun's squadron approached the lead alien ship. The energy core glowed brightly, vulnerable to a well-placed attack. "Now fire!" he shouted. The missiles struck the core, causing a massive explosion that rocked the alien ship and sent debris flying. Smaller ships took advantage of the chaos, disabling the remaining warships one by one. Above Earth, people on the ground looked up, seeing flashes of light in the sky. Some thought it was a meteor shower, others feared the worst. No one knew that humans were fighting for survival in orbit, facing a fleet that could have ended their civilization in hours. After hours of intense combat, the alien fleet began to retreat. They had lost many ships, and their morale was shaken. Earth's fleet had survived, but at a high cost. Several human ships were destroyed, and many brave officers had given their lives. Daehyun looked at the damaged ships and whispered, "We did it, but we paid for it." Council Envoy Take recorded his observations. The humans of Earth are not primitive. They fight with strategy and courage that is rare in the galaxy. Their spirit cannot be measured by technology alone. Hygiene gathered her officers. "We have survived today, but the war is far from over. The galaxy will now know that humans are not to be underestimated. We must rebuild, repair, and prepare for whatever comes next." As the alien fleet disappeared into the darkness of space, the humans of Earth looked at their own planet with pride and sorrow. They had defended their home with every ounce of strength and ingenuity they had. And though the true cost was not fully realized yet, they had sent a clear message to the galaxy. Humans would fight back, no matter the odds. The battle in Earth's orbit had begun in earnest. The alien fleet was larger than anyone had imagined, and their warships moved with terrifying precision. Captain Ji-woon gripped the controls of his ship, his eyes fixed on the screens displaying enemy positions. Around him, his squadron of smaller, faster ships maneuvered through the asteroid field, using the rocks as cover. Each movement had to be exact. A single mistake could mean destruction. Admiral Hae-won watched from the command bridge of the flagship. The crew was tense but determined. She gave calm, clear orders, knowing that any hesitation could cost lives. "Deploy the drones now," she commanded. "Focus on the left flank. Disrupt their sensors and communications. We need to create confusion." Lieutenant Seojin nodded and activated the drones. They shot out from the ship, moving like a swarm of insects. The drones weaved between the alien ships, firing pulses that temporarily disabled their navigation systems. The enemy ships began to collide with smaller asteroids, and the humans took advantage, striking quickly and retreating before the aliens could respond. Ji-woon's squadron executed their first attack with careful precision. They fired plasma cannons at weak points in the alien hulls, causing sparks and explosions. The smaller ships darted between debris, avoiding counterattacks. Even though the humans were outnumbered, their speed and strategy allowed them to hold their ground. In the midst of the chaos, Lieutenant Mi-sun spotted a critical weakness in one of the enemy warships. "Captain Ji-woon, if we hit the energy conduit on their left side, it might disable their shields," she reported. Ji-woon made a quick calculation and nodded. "All right, Mi-sun, take your team and strike. The rest of us will keep them busy." Mi-sun's team moved like shadows through the battlefield. The alien warship fired in all directions, but they managed to avoid most of the attacks. When they reached the energy conduit, Mi-sun aimed and fired. A bright explosion lit the area, and the alien shields flickered and went down. The humans cheered quietly. It was a small victory, but an important one. Meanwhile, Hae-won monitored the entire battlefield. She saw other squadrons following similar tactics, targeting engines, weapons, and communication lines. Each hit slowed the alien fleet and reduced their coordination. The humans were not winning by raw power, but by clever strategy and teamwork. Council Envoy Take observed from a distance. He could not believe what he was seeing. Humans, so small compared to other species, were holding their own against a fleet meant to destroy them. He whispered to himself, "They are dangerous, unpredictable, and far stronger than I imagined." The alien fleet adjusted their strategy, realizing that humans were more capable than expected. They started focusing fire on Ji-woon's squadron. Explosions erupted around the human ships, and alarms blared. Ji-woon and his team moved with skill, dodging and weaving through the battlefield. One ship was hit and spun out of control, but the pilot managed to regain stability. He gritted his teeth and continued fighting. On the flagship, HFY coordinated a simultaneous attack. All squadrons, target the command ship, keep them distracted, and we will strike at their core. Now, the fleet moved as one, a coordinated effort that the alien commanders could not easily counter. Humans were showing flexibility and speed, qualities the aliens had underestimated. The command ship's shields were strong, but not perfect. The humans fired in precise bursts using every weapon available. Sparks flew, and the hull shuddered under repeated attacks. The aliens tried to regroup, but the humans' use of the asteroid field and drones had left them scattered and vulnerable. Ji-woon's team made daring runs, weaving between enemy fire and striking critical points. Amid the battle, HFY noticed the toll on her own fleet. Some ships were damaged, and crew members were injured. She called out calmly, "Stay focused, protect each other and press forward. Every move counts. We can do this." As the fight continued, Mi-sun noticed another weakness in the alien formation. "Captain, if we can separate their right wing, we might be able to take out the rest of their fleet more easily." Ji-woon quickly agreed, signaling to the rest of the squadron. They executed the maneuver, carefully drawing the right wing away from the main fleet. Explosions and laser fire lit the space around them as the humans engaged the divided forces. The aliens were beginning to retreat in some areas, their formation broken and morale shaken. Humans, though battered and weary, pressed their advantage. Ji-woon's squadron scored another hit on a major warship, causing a chain reaction of system failures. The battle was turning in Earth's favor, but the cost was high. HFY watched the remaining alien ships and knew they could not relax. The enemy still had firepower, and the humans had limited resources. She gave a final command for this phase of the attack. "Hold the line, focus on critical targets, and be ready for anything. We will not give up." The battle continued for hours. Humans used every tactic, every trick they knew, pushing the aliens to their limits. Finally, the aliens began a slow retreat, their ships damaged and scattered. Earth's fleet had survived the clash, but it was clear that the fight was far from over. Ji-woon and Mi-sun regrouped with the other pilots. They were tired, their ships damaged, but they had accomplished what many thought impossible. The humans of Earth had shown courage, strategy, and the willingness to risk everything. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, they had not given up. Council Envoy Take recorded his observations. He could not deny what he had seen. Humans were a force to be reckoned with, capable of unexpected strategies and bravery. He made a note to report back to the council. "Do not underestimate Earth. These humans fight with courage, skill, and intelligence. They are dangerous beyond what we imagined." As the alien fleet disappeared into the darkness of space, the humans of Earth breathed a collective sigh of relief. They had survived, but they knew the war was only beginning. The galaxy would soon understand that Earth's defenders were strong, resourceful, and fearless. And though the cost was high, the humans had proved one thing. They would fight to protect their home, no matter the odds. The battle had taken its toll on the human fleet. Several ships were damaged, and many brave officers had given their lives to defend Earth. Captain Dae-hyun surveyed the scene from his command ship, the glow of distant explosions reflecting in his eyes. Every victory came with a price, and he knew this was far from over. The alien fleet, though weakened, still had dangerous firepower and could regroup if given the chance. Admiral HFY gathered her officers. She spoke with a calm but serious voice. "We cannot win this war with brute force alone. We must be clever. We will use what the aliens do not expect. Every ship, every maneuver counts. We fight not just with weapons, but with strategy." Her officers nodded, understanding the weight of her words. Lieutenant Sumin had been studying the movements of the alien fleet. "Admiral, if we can lure them into the collapsing star system near the Orion sector, we could trap them. Their ships cannot maneuver in the unstable gravity. We might be able to destroy a large part of their fleet at once." HFY considered the suggestion. It was risky, but it might be the only chance to turn the battle decisively in their favor. The fleet prepared for the maneuver. Smaller squadrons moved ahead, drawing the alien ships into the planned trap. Captain Ji-woon led one of these groups, weaving through debris and firing only when necessary. The aliens were cautious, realizing the humans were planning something, but they underestimated the cunning of Earth's commanders. As they approached the star system, Admiral Hae-won activated the strategy fully. All ships, maintain formation, target engines and shields. We need them inside the gravity well before we commit to full attack. The human ships moved with precision, using every sensor and calculation to predict the aliens' actions. Even minor miscalculations could result in disaster, but the humans had trained for this. Mi-sun led a team to strike at the alien command ships directly. They darted between floating debris and asteroids, their engines straining to avoid gravitational pull. With careful timing, they fired missiles that struck the lead alien ships, causing explosions that rippled through the enemy formation. The aliens panicked, trying to avoid the unstable star system, but many were already inside the dangerous zone. Captain Dae-hyun coordinated the next phase. Focus fire on the ships trapped in the gravitational field. Take out their engines first. Disable them completely. The human fleet worked together flawlessly, using strategy rather than raw strength. The alien ships became easy targets as they struggled to escape the collapsing star system. Council Envoy Take watched from afar, impressed and wary. Humans were taking risks no other species would consider. Their courage and quick thinking made them unpredictable. He made a note. Humans possess adaptability and bravery beyond their technological level. Their actions in this battle will be remembered in the galaxy. The aliens tried to regroup, but their efforts were slow and uncoordinated. Ji-woon's squadron struck from multiple angles, disabling weapon systems and shields. Each human ship risked destruction, but their precision was unmatched. Mi-sun managed to hit another key target, causing a chain reaction that took out several enemy warships. The fleet was crumbling. Despite these successes, Hae-won knew the cost. Several of her ships had been lost, and many crew members were injured. Communications with some squadrons were lost temporarily, and she feared the worst. "Hold your ground and continue the attack," she ordered. "We cannot let the aliens recover. We must finish this while we have the chance." The alien flagship tried to retreat, but the collapsing star system made it difficult. Dae-hyun's team anticipated their moves, firing continuously. Explosions lit up the darkness of space as alien ships were destroyed one by one. The humans of Earth were showing extraordinary courage and tactical skill, but they were not without losses. Mi-sun noticed the alien flagship's weak points. "Captain, if we focus all remaining fire on their engine and control systems, we can disable them completely." Ji-woon nodded, coordinating with other teams. The combined attack struck the enemy core, causing massive explosions. The flagship was crippled, unable to escape the gravity well. Other alien ships tried to flee but were easily intercepted by the humans' remaining forces. The battle reached a tense moment. Humans had successfully trapped and disabled a large portion of the alien fleet, but several ships were lost in the process. The survivors of the human fleet regrouped, repairing minor damage and tending to the injured. Hae-won surveyed the battlefield. The human forces had achieved what seemed impossible. They had turned the tide of the battle despite being outnumbered and outgunned. Captain Dae-hyun looked at the remaining alien ships. They were scattered and weak, their morale broken. He knew the humans had won this stage of the battle, but he also understood that the war would not end here. The galaxy was watching, and humans had proven they were not to be underestimated. Council Envoy Take recorded his observations. He was amazed by the humans' ability to think creatively under pressure, their courage, and their willingness to sacrifice for victory. He realized that Earth's defenders were unlike any species he had seen before. "This will change how the galaxy sees humans," he whispered to himself. As the alien fleet retreated further into space, the humans of Earth took a moment to reflect. They had paid a high price, losing many brave officers and ships, but their clever strategy had worked. They had shown that humans could face overwhelming odds and survive through intelligence, courage, and teamwork. HFY addressed her crew. Today we have won an important battle. Remember the cost, honor those we lost, and prepare for the challenges ahead. The galaxy now knows Earth's defenders are strong, and we will not be broken. The alien fleet was now trapped near the unstable star system. Their ships struggled to maintain position, buffeted by the intense gravitational forces. Captain Daehyun watched from his command ship as the enemy fought to escape. His fleet, though weary, was ready to deliver the final strike. The humans had come far, but this moment would define the battle. Admiral HFY gave her orders with calm authority. Focus all fire on the command ships first. Disable their engines and weapons. Smaller squadrons, protect the flanks and intercept any ship that tries to escape. We finish this now. No mistakes. Her crew moved quickly, following her commands with precision. Every second counted. Lieutenant Sumin led a group of fast attack ships, weaving between debris and small asteroids. They fired coordinated volleys at alien engines, disrupting their ability to maneuver. Each successful hit brought cheers from the human crews, but the tension remained. One wrong move and they could be caught in the gravitational chaos themselves. Mi-sun, piloting a sleek interceptor, aimed for the lead enemy ship. Captain, this is our chance. If we hit the engine core, we can disable their flagship completely. Ji-woon nodded from the nearby squadron. Go for it, Mi-sun. Everyone else support her attack. The interceptor darted forward, firing missiles that struck the alien core with precision. The resulting explosion sent shockwaves through the enemy formation, leaving the flagship powerless. The alien fleet was in chaos. Without their flagship, communication and coordination broke down. Smaller ships tried to retreat, but the humans anticipated their moves. Daehyun's ships moved in a tight formation, striking weak points with calculated precision. Explosions erupted across the enemy fleet, lighting the dark void of space. Admiral HFY remained focused, issuing orders to the remaining squadrons. Keep pressure on them. Do not give them a chance to recover. Target weapons systems and energy cores. Protect your own ships, but press the attack. The human fleet responded with determination, each crew member aware of the risk but unwilling to let their chance slip away. Ji-woon's team managed to disable another group of enemy warships. Mi-sun continued her assault on the alien flagship, dodging laser fire and debris. The human speed and tactical planning overwhelmed the aliens, who had underestimated Earth's ingenuity. Each strike brought them closer to total victory, but the human fleet was also suffering. Several ships had been destroyed, and crew members were injured, but they continued fighting. Council Envoy Take observed silently. He had never seen such determination and strategic skill from a small species. Humans were unpredictable and fearless. He recorded his observations carefully, knowing this battle would change the galaxy's perception of Earth. They are extraordinary, he whispered. Courage, intelligence, and teamwork. They may be small, but they are formidable. As the flagship was finally disabled, Daehyun signaled the rest of the fleet to converge. The remaining alien ships were either destroyed or forced to retreat. The battlefield was a mix of wreckage, drifting ships, and glowing debris from the explosions. Despite the destruction, humans had prevailed. Their tactics, creativity, and bravery had allowed them to overcome overwhelming odds. Mi-sun returned to Daehyun's side, her ship slightly damaged but intact. Captain, the flagship is down. The remaining ships are scattered. We did it, she said, relief evident in her voice. Daehyun nodded solemnly. Yes, Mi-sun. But remember, this victory has cost us dearly. Many brave souls are gone today. Admiral HFY addressed the fleet. We have crushed the alien fleet here, but we must not underestimate them. The galaxy will now take notice. Our people fought with honor, skill, and courage. We honor those we lost and prepare for the challenges ahead. Earth's defenders have proven themselves. The surviving human ships began to regroup. Engineers worked quickly to repair minor damage, and medics tended to the injured. Communication lines were restored, and the fleet maintained formation as they prepared to return to Earth orbit. The victory was significant, but everyone knew the cost had been high. The humans had demonstrated their power, but they had also experienced the brutal reality of war. Captain Daehyun reflected on the battle. The humans of Earth had faced impossible odds and survived. They had used intelligence, courage, and teamwork to achieve what many thought impossible. He knew the galaxy would now see humans differently, and that Earth's reputation as a strong and resilient civilization had been cemented. Council Envoy Take continued to observe the aftermath. He realized that the humans were not only brave but capable of strategy and sacrifice that many other species lacked. He made detailed notes to report back to the Intergalactic Council. Earth is no longer a minor player, he said quietly. Their people fight like no others. They are to be respected and watched closely. As the human fleet returned to safer space, the survivors looked back at the battlefield. The alien ships were either destroyed or retreating, leaving the humans victorious but reflective. They had demonstrated that courage, intelligence, and creativity could overcome greater numbers and superior technology. The memory of the battle would remain, honoring both the fallen and the brave who had fought. The humans of Earth had struck a crushing blow, proving their strength and resilience. They had shown that even in the darkest and most dangerous moments, they could rise to the occasion. And though the war was not yet over, this victory would echo across the galaxy as a testament to the spirit of humanity. The victory over the alien fleet had been hard-won, but the true cost was only beginning to show. The human fleet returned to Earth orbit, carrying the survivors of the battle. The ships were battered, many with serious damage, and the crew was exhausted from days of combat. Captain Daehyun looked out at the planet below, its blue oceans and green continents a reminder of what they had fought to protect. Many lives had been lost, and the loss weighed heavily on everyone. Admiral Hae-won gathered the remaining officers on the flagship. "We have survived an impossible battle," she said, her voice steady but tinged with sorrow. "But the cost has been high. Many of our brave men and women will never return home. We must honor their sacrifice and learn from this war. Earth's defenders have shown courage, but we must also be prepared for the future." Lieutenant Sumin looked around at the faces of her fellow officers. They were tired, some grieving, some injured, but all had seen the horrors of war. "Admiral, the fleet is operational but weakened," she reported. "We have the victory, but our resources are low. Repairs will take time. Supplies are limited. We cannot let our guard down." Mi-sun walked past the officers, her expression quiet. She had survived the most dangerous parts of the battle, but the memories of those who had fallen with her were vivid. She spoke softly to Ji-woon, who was checking the status of his squadron. "We won, but at what cost? So many are gone. Friends, comrades, all gone in the blink of an eye." Daehyun placed a hand on her shoulder. "We did what we had to do to protect Earth. Their sacrifice will not be forgotten. It is the cost of defending our home. But we will rebuild and we will be stronger. We must." In the command center, Hae-won reviewed reports of losses. Hundreds of ships destroyed, thousands of crew members missing or dead. Cities on Earth had prepared for attack, and some suffered damage from the initial strikes. The war had been devastating, but humanity had survived. The victory came with grief and hardship that would be felt for years. Council Envoy Take observed from his distant position. He had seen the humans fight and the losses they had endured. He shook his head in respect. "They are unlike any species I have known. They risk everything for each other and for their home. Their resilience and courage are unmatched. The galaxy must take note. Humans are not to be underestimated." Earth's leaders convened to discuss the aftermath. Resources were allocated for rebuilding, and plans were made to strengthen defenses. Scientists and engineers began assessing the damaged fleet and designing new ships and technologies. The war had revealed weaknesses, but it had also shown the ingenuity and determination of humans. Hae-won addressed the council. "We have survived a trial that no one expected us to endure. The price has been high, but our people are alive, our spirit unbroken. The galaxy knows now that Earth's defenders are not weak. We will rebuild and continue to protect our home. On the battlefield, scattered debris floated in orbit, a stark reminder of the destruction. Survivors of the human fleet mourned quietly, remembering those lost. Ji-woon spoke to his squadron. We fought bravely. We lost many, but we saved our home. Remember them, honor them, and continue the fight if it comes again. Mi-sun looked at the stars, thinking of the lives lost and the families waiting for them on Earth. The cost was high, but we showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. They will remember this day. We must be ready always. As repairs continued and survivors recovered, Earth's fleet began preparing for the future. The lessons of the battle were clear. Humans could face overwhelming odds and survive through courage, intelligence, and teamwork. But the war had taken much from them. Families mourned, ships were repaired slowly, and the cost in resources and lives was heavy. Admiral Hae-won walked through the ship, checking on her officers and crews. She spoke quietly to those she passed. We honor those who gave their lives. We remember them, and we will be ready for whatever comes next. Earth will not be defeated. Our people have shown the galaxy our strength, and we will continue to fight for our home. Captain Daehyun looked at the Earth below one last time before heading to his quarters. The planet was safe for now, but he knew that more threats would come. The victory had been a triumph, but it was bittersweet. He thought of the fallen, of the families who would never see their loved ones again, and of the price humanity had paid. Yet he also felt pride. Humans had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, proving their courage, their ingenuity, and their unbreakable spirit. The galaxy had seen the humans of Earth fight and survive. They had crushed a fleet far larger and more powerful than their own. The cost had been enormous, but the lesson was clear. Humans would defend their home at any cost, and their courage and intelligence made them a force that no one in the galaxy could ignore. The story of this battle would be remembered for generations, as a testament to the strength and resilience of humanity.